All right, now for the lab portion. I know I changed completely, same outfit. Yes, I do these videos the same afternoon. So it's, Sunday, a little after 5 in the evening. I mean, what else do you do on a Sunday, right? Just kidding. Um, anyhow, I'm just going to go over the lab stuff a little bit. There's definitely been some questions. Again, thank you. And we will adjust and do things as we need to go. If you have questions, again, that's how best to reach me. All right, let's hop over into the lab. All right, there we go. Module 3. Okay, so this first one is meat evaluation. Uh, you won't have a video there because it'll be the video I'm doing right now, but let's hop into meat evaluation. Okay, so you're going to go through these different guides. I would glance at them, kind of read through them to begin with, but you're really going to want to use them when you are doing your lab report. When you get this lab report, these coordinate to different sections within that lab. So there's going to be a section on retail cut and judging that. So those will be listed in that PDF that you need for your lab report. Again, carcass judging, again, is going to be a certain section of this PDF, and then you're going to have to refer to that, plus go back up through these and figure out how you're going to grade and do those things. I will say when it comes to meat grading, these videos are great. It can be a little hard to watch if you haven't gone through that stuff before and seen butchering. So I'm sorry if it's a little hard to watch. The other question I tend to get on this lab is how harsh I grade you. I grade you by whether or not you do it would be the first step. And then if I can follow your train of thought, as it were. So it is a subjective thing to grade something with your eyeballs, right? So we all have different influences and different ways we interpret things and different ways we see things. So I do find most students are fairly consistent, at least in a lot of them. Some of the carcasses, they may flip one for the other, but the grand scheme of it is going to make sense, the transition. So don't get too hung up on the subjective. If we were doing ultrasound images and measuring things and using that to grade, I would be a whole lot more harsh because that's a more objective way to grade a carcass. In fact, that's what they do now in the meat packing industry in those large meat packers. If you were taking this class in person, I actually take a field trip out to CS beef packers, and they talk about how they use an ultrasound to look at the marbling and the meat and the carcass, and that's a little more accurate grading than what they used to do, which was just eyeballing it like you're going to be doing in this lab. All right, so that's lab 5. We'll hop down to lab 6. Okay, lab 6 is going to be, part of it is one of the labs you've already done, that scenario, and taken a little bit farther. But the topic this time is statistics and science. I know this says 6 and this says 7. I moved this lab to a different portion, to a different part, to a different module. So this is the week I want it. I do want you to do lab statistics and science. Again, let me know. This one's fairly just reading and figuring out math. And oh, I didn't say it. Nope, you didn't hear math. It's just going to be working a little bit with numbers because the word math tends to be scary for some people. Again, let me know if you have any questions. I'll help you go through it. We can do it. Okay, I think that is it for this week. Again, welcome to week 3. By the end of next week, you'll be over halfway through the class. That's kind of crazy to think about. So everybody's doing great, and I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. Bye.